Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. It's Diane Covington calling from Northern California. So how many of you guys would love to add a team member? So I did a little research in my own unit, and I reached out to about 9 consultants. 3 were very, very new, and the rest were a little more seasoned, at least 6 months to 2 years in the business. And I asked them, tell me the one word when you hear the word team building, like adding somebody to your team, what comes to mind? And from the new people, I heard things like excited. They were saying things like excited, like I want to do that. They were a little unsure. And then with the seasoned people, they said things. Oh, one of the other things the new person said is, don't want to be pushy. Like I don't know anybody who wants to join my team, and I don't want to push it on people. The seasoned people that kind of understand more of the culture of Mary Kay were like, pass it on. I said, well, how do you feel about it? It's like, I feel empowered. One of them said, I feel not confident. So we kind of dissected that. And if you've ever seen the movie Mary Poppins, you know how Mary Poppins has that big bag, and in there she pulls out a lamp. She pulls out all kinds of things, right? Tape measures, all kinds of things. Well, when you think about team building, I want you to think about having a bag full of resources, okay? And I don't know if you've ever studied the DISC thing, but you want to have something that every single person you talk to can relate to. You want to have something that they can mirror. So one of the first things I'm going to share with you is, do you know that you can buy this item on section 2? It looks like a placemat. On one side, it has the $35 option and the $90 option. And on the other side, it has 4 points of why people would want to make this fun. Like it says, point number 1, it says it fits your life, but it's laid out graphically very pretty. So number 1 says fits your life, and it talks about flexibility. So if you think about the 5 top reasons, that's the other thing I did in this research with my unit. I said, what are the 5 things that you think would appeal to women who want to join Mary Kay? And the number 1 thing everyone talked about is the discount and the freedom and flexibility, no quota. So number 1 on this placemat, it covers flexibility, making extra money, fun, freedom, and again, the word flexibility, balance, and the 50% profit and 50% discount. So all of that is mentioned in the little square number 1. Square number 2 says helps you be who you want to be. And this talks about empowerment, encouragement, education, personal development, helping other women. Box 3 talks about it lets you sell products you can believe in. It talks about high quality products, the ones that are extensively researched. We manufacture our own products. You can even throw in, even though it's not on the sheet, about the facility being 0 landfill status, all of those things. And underneath that, it says the right product for you and for your customers. And then number 4 at the bottom, it says share the heart of Mary Kay, which is started by a woman for women. It's all about empowering women, $96 million donated by the Mary Kay Foundation, and the renewable energy from the plant. And of course, Mary Kay's philosophies are also on here: faith first, family second, career third. Now, the last little part says, is this opportunity for you, A, B, or C? I don't typically use that. What I do is I say of all the things, and when I sit down with someone with this sheet, I literally want them to take this home. I said, so circle everything that's important to you. Is flexibility important? Is making extra money important? Because some words are highlighted in bolder font. And I said, well, just circle everything that's important to you. And so what I will find is I think all of us, myself included, could be really more effective at team building if we would ask more questions, listen more, and share less. We tend to, and I hate to use these words, barf Mary Kay, but we tend to overshare too much information. Where what we need to do is find out, what would maybe make them interested. So would you guys agree that practice builds confidence, right? No different than the first couple times you got on a bike and you had training wheels. Well, you wobble back and forth, but thank goodness for those training wheels because it kept you upright. It kept you from tipping over, right? And then after a couple of rounds in the neighborhood and up and down the driveway and that kind of thing, you're like, okay, I'm ready to take the training wheels off. You might still be a little nervous, but you're like, I've mastered this thing with the training wheels on. So you take the training wheels off, and that first venture, when maybe someone's running alongside, but their hand's not really on the bike, you're doing it on your own, what happens to your confidence level if you do that lap and you don't crash or fall down? You become more confident. But even if you crash and fall down, you're like, okay, I'm fine. I can do this. Get back on the bike and do it again. In this sharing the opportunity, it's exactly the same thing. It's us sharing. So here's what I want you to do. It doesn't matter to me whether you have been in the business 30 days and you're listening to this, or you've been in the business 10 years. You can go online and you can pull this document up, the one that has the 4 things on the front. It's probably under share the opportunity kind of a thing. I know it's on there because my assistant, one of my friends, new consultant, didn't know she could buy it on Section 2, so she printed them out in color, not knowing she could just buy them because it's honestly way cheaper to buy them by the time you go through all the ink and everything. I said, where'd you print those out from? She said, oh, the Mary Kay Touch website. I said, oh, didn't even know it was on there. So you could set up a Zoom appointment. And the reason I want to do Zoom versus the phone, ideally in person, but Zoom is better than the phone because you can read body language. You can look into their eyes. You can see their facial expressions. So what I want to challenge you to do between now and Sunday night, so today's Wednesday, so you got till Sunday night, to set up 3 appointments. These could be with people that are interested. These could be people that are not interested. So let's say I call Jen Allen, one of my customers. I'd call her and say, Jen, hey, it's Diane with Mary Kay. I have something I'd really love your input on. Do you have a quick minute? And she'll say, she's super busy. Mom runs 2 companies, like crazy busy. She'll say, sure, Jen, I'll give you a minute. I'll say, there is a new document that Mary Kay has put together that kind of captures what our company feels women are looking for today in an opportunity. Now, I know you're probably not interested in Mary Kay in a million years. You'd rather be a customer, and I get that. But because I know you and I trust you and I'd love your feedback, if you will give me 10 to 15 minutes of your time, I promise no more than 15, I would love to gift you any one item in our entire line at half price. Now, who's going to turn down any one item she wants? Or you could offer her a gift like a free mascara or something. But I find if I let her pick one item, anything she wants at half price, she'll agree to meet with me for 20 minutes on Zoom. And with her, she's so busy, in person, I can already tell you it's not going to work. But she'll do a Zoom. So I'm going to have that placement, and I'm going to pull it up in screen share and say, so what of this is important to you? Like what? And go through each of the 4 squares and find out where she's at. And then you can say to her at the end, what did you hear that appealed to you the most? Aside from the 50% discount, which is kind of a given that who doesn't want anything at half off, right? What appeals to you the most? And then be quiet. And no matter how long that pause feels, it might even feel awkward. You don't want to talk, and just let her think. And she'll say, maybe the balance, maybe the priorities. And I'm going to say to her, Jen, with your busy schedule, I'm curious, what would you love to have more of in your life? Would it be more girlfriend time, more travel time, more money, more what? And she's probably going to say more time, or maybe more vacation time. And I'm going to say, so I'm curious, I use that word a lot, what are you doing right now to give you more travel time, or to give you more travel money, or whatever it is that she says. And then write down what she says and say, is this something you could see yourself doing at least for the discount? Even if all you do was do it for the 50% off, sell to your mom because she also buys from me, and then you could use it as fundraisers with the kids. You could do whatever you want, and you can order once, twice, 3, 4 times a year. And what I'm going to tell you is there are so many people who come into Mary Kay for the discount who stay for every other reason in addition to the half off. So I want to challenge you to one of you to say these practice shares. Now, let's say all 3 people say, I'm not interested. You now have 3 little mini versions of you being a talent scout. So when I get off the phone with Jen, if she says to me, I'm 1,000% not interested, even the half off, I'd say, Jen, you are, and you can use these words, you are the quality I'm looking for. So what I'd love to let you know is that I have a $100 Mary Kay gift certificate for anyone that you refer me to that decides to join my team and give this a try. Regardless of how fast or slow they go, you automatically get a $100 Mary Kay gift certificate. She's going to think, so here are 3 categories I'm looking for. I'm looking for some young girls, 18 to 23, that are in college, in school, on their own, that just could use an extra source of income, flexible source of income. Second group I'm looking for is women that have got young little ones at home. They might have taken time off work. They might have taken a extended maternity leave. But they really want to be home with kids, but they can't afford not to work, especially if they live here in California. And the third category I'm looking for is the women that are approaching 50 or over 50 that are ready to reinvent themselves. Their kids are independent. They might be in high school or college. Maybe they're new empty nesters. And they might be thinking, well now what? What's the next chapter in my life? And then I'm also looking for people who are bilingual, speak Spanish, or whatever it is that you're looking for. That's just what I'm looking for. And say to her, those are what I'm looking for. Do you know anybody in those categories? And she might say, well, yeah, my sister's staying home with kids. And say, would you, if I send you a text, would you forward it to your sister and see if I could send her a video just to check it out? It may or may not be for her. So what I'm telling you guys is you got to step outside your comfort zone. You've got to open your mouth. You got to talk to people to make this work. Okay, so I hope you can take this advice and run with it, because I guarantee you could be adding a new team member before the end of the week. All right, you guys have a blessed day. Bye-bye.